Success shouldn't feel this exhausting. If you're winning on paper, but burning out behind the scenes, you aren't failing. You're stuck in a psychological bottleneck called a hurdle of stop. I've been there. On the outside, things look great, but I was secretly burning out, convinced I was just lucky, and waiting to be exposed as a fraud. I realized I didn't have a business problem. I had a mindset block. Whether it's imposter syndrome, perfectionism, or fear or failure, these aren't just feelings. They are growth bottlenecks. Identify your specific hurdle and get one immediate action step to regain your momentum today. Go to tuepodcast.net/quiz. That's tuepodcast.net/quiz to take the 3-minute assessment and get your report now. Salutations, Skoob Believer. Do you have a dream of becoming an entrepreneur, but don't know where to start or even what to do? Where can I gather information quickly about what's in my zone of genius? Don't worry, Skoob Believers. I got you covered. Go to tuepodcast.net/AI prompt and check out an amazing set of AI prompts that will give you ideas, information, and articles to help you get across that start line. Once again, go to tuepodcast.net/AI prompt to get you started now. Good luck, Skoob Believer. Welcome to The Undiscovered Entrepreneur, the podcast where brand new entrepreneurs come to life and could quite possibly be discovered. Join me, DJ Skoob, and the rest of the Skoob Believers as we help these new businesses become a reality. And now, away we go! We now join DJ Skoob in the coaching of Mikhail, owner of Mudwalker Productions, already in progress. All right, Mikhail. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for, taking the time to talk to me a little bit today about what you would like to do with, I guess, your podcast. Is that what we're kind of going to concentrate on?
Yeah, technically it's more about the production company as a whole.
Right. Okay. Awesome. So tell me kind of what's on your mind right now. What kind of things do you have working? What kind of goals do you have for yourself? I mean, what do you have on your mind right now that you want to accomplish?
Well, one of my biggest things is I'm just trying to figure out a good way to actually accumulate funding to be able to tell all of my stories that I have. Mm-hmm. And right now we're doing really good. Our show, just from monetizing our zombie podcast, has done really well. We're making a small amount just off of the ads that we run through the show.
Cool. What type of ads are they?
They're just basic ads that Acast runs through their monetization program.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else? I mean, okay, we got some funding happening that you want to have done. What else is going on?
Right now, I'm just in the process of trying to accumulate more voice actors because all of my scripts require a lot of people. And right now, everything that I'm doing with my family.
Okay.
So it's been a really fun experience doing it. But at the same time, I know they get kind of burnt out and need a break. So it's that like, okay, I need to find some extra people to kind of offset the workload.
Right. So you need people to help you with voice acting. Anything else that you need help with as far as that's concerned?
A lot, because I'm very new to the podcasting world. So a lot of the things that I've done so far, I've had a couple other podcasters that I'm really good friends with that have their own shows, and they've kind of helped coach me and taught me a little bit about like what to look for, what to do, and how to, I'd say, present myself. Mm-hmm. So stuff like that.
So what do you think is your highest concern? I mean, there's a few things, but what do you think is your highest concern right now in that aspect?
In that aspect, I do feel like some of the things that I'm doing, I could be doing a lot better, like getting myself out there and actually approaching people to join under our production company and start working with me. But at that, I think it's just my own hesitation to put myself into that spot.
Okay. I take a lot of notes, just so you know. Okay. What else is going on? Do you think there's anything else that you might need help with, that you want to ask, any particular thing that you want me to go over with you?
Really, I'm interested to see what other people's opinions are for the process of what I'm doing and potentially what I could be doing better.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like you just want to get some feedback on what you're doing right now, and just kind of see what you could do to improve what you're doing. That sound right? Okay. Feedback. Okay. Awesome. Anything else?
No, I think that's about what I'm looking for right now.
Okay, cool. All right. So what are you doing right now to get feedback from anybody? I mean, you're telling me that you're going out and you're trying to find other podcasters. What else are you doing to get feedback from other people?
I talked to some of our listeners that listen to the show, and I asked them, like, out of everything that you've heard so far from episode 1 to our season 1 finale, what have you noticed that I've improved on? What can I do better? Like, what steps do you feel I should be taking to create a better environment and in a better entertainment center to hook people better?
Okay, so you're actually getting in contact with your listeners.
Yeah, because I have multiple groups. I've got my Facebook group under Mudwalker Productions, and then I have a Discord channel where a lot of like gamers have jumped on, and they're like, "Oh yeah, dude, I listened to your podcast while we play video games and stuff." And they're like, "It's really cool." And they're like, "But we did notice in some of your episodes that like your volume is way too low, and we can't understand what some people are saying."
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I've been focusing on, is trying to be better at audio production.
Audio production. Okay. Good. Okay. And so you've started a community of some kind for your podcast, it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay, good. Let me think here for a second. Have you started putting together possibly like an email list for your community?
I don't have an email list, but I do have my Patreon account. I have one Patreon member, and I noticed that every time somebody logs on and checks out the Patreon, I actually get their email along with it. So I wanted to start like a newsletter to be able to send out to those people. And I do kind of do that with Facebook already on the group page. That way people can be in touch with what I'm doing, and hopefully if they like it, then they'll be able to contact me at the same time too.
Good. Putting together an email list is beneficial too, to help you find money and sponsors. Just because it's an easier way to market to people directly, instead of like a bunch of people on Discord or a bunch of people, on Facebook or something like that. It's more direct. So like it's just easier, and not having to depend on algorithms like on Facebook to get in hold of people. Or like, I like Facebook. I use Facebook a lot. I really do. But at the same time, if something happens where Facebook goes down or Twitter goes down or even Discord goes down, what happens? You can't control, you can't get a hold of anybody. But if you have an email list of all these people that you're in contact with, you actually have direct, hey, everything's okay. Don't worry. Everything's going on. Hey, I have this new product coming out, that kind of thing. So putting together an email list is one of the main things that I put together when I talk to new people, because a lot of times they'll figure it out later on and they'll wish they had it.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? So if you start it now and build that up, and it also helps, like I said, with advertising. Hey, I got a new episode coming out. Instead of putting it out on Twitter, which only a quarter of the people are going to see it anyway. For an example, everybody that you have an email list is going to know you have an episode coming out, so they're going to say, "Oh yeah, a new episode! I'm ready for that."
So with the email list thing, I'm still not exactly sure how those work, and really how to get it started.
Sure. So a lot of email list providers like ConvertKit. I use ConvertKit, and I also use a system with an E in the end of it, and they actually help you build a landing page. It's okay. So you build a landing page for yourself. I'm actually doing this myself right now too. That's why I know about it. So you build yourself a landing page, and then you direct everybody to the landing page. So you can say over your podcast, "Hey, I have this. Go to this and be part of my community." Even when you make that newsletter, you could actually make that as newsletter an incentive to join to go on to the landing page and join up for your email list. Okay. So like join the email list now and you'll get my very first newsletter or something like that. Yeah, some kind of incentive to get people to go up to the landing page and sign up for your email list.
Okay.
And it all happens automatically. So all you have to do is like input whatever it is that you're going to send to them, and when they sign up, it'll automatically send it to them. So you don't have to do too much. It's very automated. Very automated.
Give me 1 second so I can grab a piece of paper.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, know where all the paper went.
Uh-oh. Well, that's why I record these, just in case.
Okay, but just real quick, what was that website?
ConvertKit?
ConvertKit. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a good one. You get your first 300 subscribers for free. So it'll hold up to 300 emails for you for free before you have to start paying. But the system.io, I think, is the other one that I use. And that's the one I'm kind of concentrating on right now. They actually give you up to 3,000.
Ooh.
So that's kind of okay, yeah, that's good. So, but the thing about that is ConvertKit's a little more thorough and easier to follow.
Okay.
So it's like, give or take how you want. I might start like my email list on system, then switch it over to ConvertKit when I have the money to be able to do that. But anyway, the whole point here is starting an email list, I think, would be beneficial for you and your podcast and what you're trying to accomplish.
Perfect.
Okay. Getting feedback is going to be important. I personally think if you can join an actual community of people, not just your community, but a community of creatives, like-minded people, things like that, to actually bounce ideas off of people that are a little more experienced than you, that have a little more knowledge about what's happening and that kind of thing. Now, I actually have a community called it's called Creator Lab. It's from Numospect. It's a company that I work for.
Okay.
And it's a newer one, but it's really inexpensive. It's only like $40 a month, and you get access to. We have about 100 people in there right now. So you get direct access to these people to be able to ask them questions, to be able to have them look over your things, and then for a little bit more, we actually help you find sponsors. We also.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, we actually have somebody that actively helps you find sponsors and community and things like that. So if you want to look that up, you can. It's I'll send you a link to that. So if you want to take a look at it, you can. It's 14 days for free, and then you decide if you want to do it or not. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to help you. Okay, yeah. I want to make sure I put that out there. But I really think that joining an actual structured community to get the feedback that you're looking for, get opinions from other people that know exactly what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish will be beneficial for you, instead of kind of willy-nilly trying to find, people whenever you can.
Well, I think so far, one of my favorite experiences doing what I've done so far is when I started, I was a Patreon member of some other shows. And at that, I started talking with the creators of those shows. And I was like, hey, how did you get started? Was it easy and all this? And then I started talking about some of the stories that I had. And there's this one girl from Lighthouse Studios who does The Lucky Die and a bunch of other shows. And when I told her about it, she was like, you need to do this. She's like, your show is really good. She's like, I love your idea. And she's like, your energy is awesome. She's like, if you need help, I'm always down to help. So she actually voice acts with us. And so does her husband.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it's fun when you can actually find somebody that knows what you're going through. And that's one thing for me too. I've noticed in the podcast community, everybody is just so helpful.
It's amazing.
So willing to help you out, even though technically we're, against, I don't want to say against each other, but you know what I'm saying? Like we're all in podcasting fighting for downloads and listens, but at the same time, we're all here to help each other and support each other in what we're trying to accomplish. So.
Well, and that's what's been really cool because doing my zombie podcast, like one of my biggest ones that inspired me to do it was Casey Whalen's "We're Alive," and I've actually talked with him, and he's like, yeah, I've heard about your show, and he was like, honestly, he's like, that's awesome. He's like, everybody loves zombies. He's like, no matter what, you have a different avenue you could always go to have different types of infected, like the story structure. And he was like, the way you're doing it, he was like, that's really awesome. He's like, I'm glad I could inspire you to create something like that.
All right. Yeah, that's always great to have that kind of positive feedback. But don't be afraid to get negative feedback either.
Yeah. It's not negative. It's helpful.
Constructive.
Yeah, there we go.
Another thing I'd like you to look into is a book. You might know this, I don't know, called Superfans, written by a gentleman named Pat Flynn.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's basically a book on how to get your listeners from kind of passive listening to super fans, and the walkthrough process of how to be able to accomplish that. Which one of them is an email list, but definitely highly recommend that. If you want, I could send a link to that too, to my affiliate link, so you can get that book. Do you have Audible by chance already?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
So I really suggest that in audio version, just because he actually goes off of the script a lot to talk about different types of things besides what's in the book. So definitely highly recommend that. That way you can see how you can convert. You have some active fans now, as it sounds like. So that's good. Yeah. So let's get him past that. There's actually another level of that besides that, where there are super fans, where they're actually willing to basically follow you anywhere and pay anything that you put out. So do you have any ideas for products or actual physical products you could sell your?
I do. And that's actually one thing that I've been working on with basically my quality control manager, who's Hem Cleveland from The Lucky Die, because she's been super helpful. And she's like, if you ever need help, don't ever hesitate to ask. So I started a Indiegogo campaign, but I haven't published it yet, just because I'm like, I want to make sure it's all in order, looks nice and shiny. That way it's not going to just be shoved under the rug. I want people to kind of see that, like, okay, he's serious about this. So I've got merchandise that I'm actually looking at right now, like stickers, shirts, sweaters and stuff like that, buttons and pins and all sorts of different stuff.
All zombie themed, I hope.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them have the cover art that my good friend has been doing for me, which is the main new cover art that's on our show. And
good.
And honestly, it blew me away, because at first, I was like, yeah, I just have this concept. I'm like, if you can give it a try. And then when he showed back up and he's like, hey, what do you think about this? And I'm like, holy crap, dude, that's way better than I was expecting.
It's amazing when that happens.
No, and he's just a talented artist too. So no matter what, I'm like, dude, you're my dedicated art guy.
There you go. So do you have other ways to I know this might be kind of far off, but they have the Walker Stalker Con, things like that.
Yeah.
Would you be able to put something together like that, you think?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I did get invited down to Podfest here down in Vegas a while back, but it was on such short notice where I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to make it, but it would have been really cool to go down and actually meet all these people, because a couple of the podcasters that were featured there were the ones that got a hold of me and were like, hey, dude, you should come down and network. And I'm like, I'd love to, but it's too short notice. I couldn't make the trip.
So one thing's the book, I refer a lot to to super fans, in situations like this. So one of the things it talks about is putting together gigs. And something where you can actually, even if it's online, like we're doing right now, but you have people that want to sign up for it and that kind of thing. So you can get like 4 or 5 people on there and just talk about zombies or whatever it is that you talk about, and that kind of thing. Starting to get out a little more into the community that you're in right now would be beneficial. But I know it's like you have a little bit of hesitation in doing that. Why do you have like a hesitation to kind of put yourself out there?
Well, when I do those kind of things, I live way out of town up on top of a mountain. So a lot of what I do is very secluded because our internet isn't great. We have like the worst internet speed. So trying to do any live event like this, it means that, okay, I have to come down into town and set up an area kind of like this, which now I have that opportunity and that option to do. So it's slowly inspiring more to get out and do it, but I still have that hesitation just because I'm not that kind of like tech savvy kind of guy.
If you've gotten this far where you can get onto a Zoom call with me, you can do a gig. You're hesitating honestly and I'm just going to be upfront with you. It just sounds like to me you're hesitating out of fear.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But for fear is like an acronym for me, false evidence appearing real. Okay, so this isn't what you're going through right now. Isn't like a saber-toothed tiger that's going to come bite you or anything like that. It's nothing that's going to hurt you. It's just something that you yourself have to be able to get over, even though it's not a physical fear.
Yeah.
So me personally, when I think about fear, I think it's actually something that's pointing me in a direction. If I'm scared to do something, that means I have to do it.
Yeah.
I use it as a leader, as I don't want like my Yoda, or if you want to call it that, or something like that, because it's telling you that you need to do this. You're scared to do it because you need to do it.
Well, and at that same aspect with even starting the show put me in that same kind of boat where I wasn't sure how the show was going to be received. And at that, I was like, I'm really not sure about doing it. But then it was like, all right, do the first episode and I'll just put it out there. And then after that, seeing people really enjoy it was like, oh, wow. I shouldn't have been so hesitant. Like people loved it. So now I got to really get on it.
There you go. So what's not to say that that's going to happen when you put together a get together of some kind?
I don't know. I think part of that hesitation is just wondering if anybody would show up. But I think that, again, is part of that fear where I just need to stop being afraid and just do it.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Get through that first one, just like you did your podcast. Get through that first get together. Now you have a community. You've already skipped a lot of what I haven't even done yet, to be honest with you. You have a community of people. Now, the community I have of people, I haven't really. I'm actually just now getting into where I can get a gig together with them, and I'm pretty much in the same boat as you at this point. But I've actually put one out there, and I'm doing a group coaching on Tuesday. So all the people in this community have this link to come to my group coaching. So we're gonna just see what happens.
That'll be pretty cool.
So I think you should be able to do the same thing. Put together just a quick, just do it on Zoom, really, and just put it. Hey, can you make pretty links? Can you make like real simple links off of your website?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So if you put a Zoom thing together, take that link, put it in your printing links, and then make it something really simple. So go like my creator lab is tuepodcast.net/lab. Really easy, simple, smooth to remember. So tell people to go to this if you want to join this gig. And then come down off the hill, go into your office here if they'll let you, and then do it there. Or whatever, whatever. I mean, you got some stuff worked out, so that's cool. Whatever you need to do. So, and that way you could actually get into real hardcore touch with your community. They'll see your face and know who you are, and now they have more of a bond with you, and you get closer and closer to having those super fans that actually want to be a part of your world.
Yeah, I become a little bit more personable with my listener base and everybody who wants to interact.
And the people that you actually touch will go out and tell people about you, about your podcast, and you'll get more downloads, listens, whatever goal you have for them. And hopefully sell some products and get that funding that you're looking for.
That would be amazing. And at that, yeah, if I start doing the Zoom calls and I get some of my first merchandise, I can show it and be like, hey, check out the shirts. Like, this is what we got going, or check out the hat. Like, it would be really cool to be able to have that venue to be able to show people what I'm capable of.
Exactly. And then you could post them wherever your socials are and show people are actually starting to, because people that see people do things want to join. Oh, he's got that cool. Oh, I love the design of that. I need to get myself one of those and send him a picture so he puts me on his Instagram, whatever, something like that. Start that flow. Start that flow of people that are interested in your show and then want to be a part of what you're actually accomplishing in your show. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. What's going through your head right now? Tell me what's going on.
Well, right now I'm honestly thinking, holy crap, I have a lot of homework that I still have to do.
Oh yeah, we all do.
So yeah, I mean, like, out of everything right now, I think there's just that little bit of apprehension because, again, like, I don't have a massive funding to be able to do this. I don't make a lot of money because I only work part-time while doing podcasting as my other side job.
Right.
And right now I work 3 days a week doing painting for a company in and out here in Sandpoint. Mm-hmm. And then on that, I spend most of my time script writing and audio editing, trying to get my stories out. And it's slowly gained enough traction that I'm like, okay, like, I can finally start looking at doing some merchandising with a little bit of the revenue that I've gotten from my ads, but I start small. So I'm thinking stickers first, like just something small and simple that I can send out to people or use as like a bonus for like, hey, if you join the Patreon tier at $3, you get a booklet of stickers that are the cover art, logos, and all the different art that we have for our show.
There you go. So having that's really good. That's a good idea. You should do that. A lot of the stuff that you need to accomplish doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
You really think about it and kind of work it out. Like technically, you can actually put together an email list and just do it manually. Now, that's going to take a lot more time and effort, but it can be done. Things like editing and doing Zoom calls. I mean, I get unlimited Zoom for $15 a month.
Oh, wow.
So I get as many people. I get up to 100 people on there and unlimited time for $15 a month.
Wow.
So it's really inexpensive. If you don't do that, it's 45 minutes for free. That's okay. Sometimes you can do it in 45 minutes, but a lot of times when I do coachings like this, it takes an hour or so I have to get the bigger package. Yeah. But I mean, putting together something like that, not very expensive. And then you could just put something out there on your Discord. I got a helicopter going by. Put something out on your Discord, say, hey, I'm doing this, like I was saying, and then just give out that link and have people, and then see how many people actually join. It'll actually tell you how many people join.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So finding ways to be able to do things for free or close or very inexpensive takes a little bit of homework to do, but it's very possible and helps you keep that cost down. Now, something that just kind of came to my mind, you told me that some of the people were telling you about your audio was kind of a little bit off.
Yeah. In the first episodes where I just dipped my toes into it, because I never edited audio before and really didn't have any experience with it, but some of the voices and how I tried to design the scene, you had people talking, this, so it's like, okay, I can't have that because that's part of the story. You need to hear what these people are saying.
Right.
And the downside to that is on those first episodes, the way I edited them, I can't retrieve the original voice tracks for that entire episode. Mm-hmm. So the only thing I could do is go through on the one track and try to amplify those certain spots, which it helped. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, this goes to show people where I started and where I'm at now.
Exactly. Exactly, because a lot of people like seeing that progression. People like seeing that hero's story where we started out this way and now we're here.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, don't delete those, don't change them, anything. Just leave them there because people would see how you come across. Now it sounds like you fixed those problems since then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot of research, and like I said, I have some podcast friends. One is Fool and Scholar, Travis Vengroth. He's an actual sound engineer. So he kind of broke stuff down for me. I was like, this is what you need to look for. He's like, when you're doing your editings and recordings, he's like, you got to keep everything within this level. You don't want it to peak. But if you're at a certain decibel level, he's like, the more background noise you have, that's just going to cut it out and overpower it. So he's like, you need to kind of balance everything a little better. And that was honestly really helpful. And that's where it was like, okay, I'll give that a try. And when I started doing it, people were like, holy crap, dude. Like, and that new episode that you put out, like when you're walking in the grass, they're like, if I closed my eyes, I can imagine what's happening in that scene. It's like, all right, good. Like,
yeah, you're doing it right.
better.
If you could close your eyes and kind of feel it out. So that's good. So, what improvements do you think you can have by approaching people? I mean, let's just kind of hit that a little bit more, because I think that's going to be the one thing that's going to kind of slow you down in your progression. Because it sounds like you have the podcast is down. It sounds like that's down.
Yeah.
You have products out there, you have that down. But I think the one thing that's holding you back at this particular point is actually self-exposure. So, I mean, besides the Discord and the Facebook group, what other things do you think of that you might be able to do?
Well, I use Twitter and Instagram, and that's pretty much about as far as I go with exposure. I mean, there have been a couple people on Twitter that reach out and have their own like newsletter for podcasts, like indie production podcasts, and they've invited me to join those. So I added my show into their catalog and stuff like that, which has really helped. But other than that, I'm not exactly sure what kind of other exposure I could be doing to get out, other than like my business cards that I've made and just started leaving in random spots around town. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm not sure what else to do.
I'm going to give you an idea. I don't know how you feel about it, but let's just throw it out there anyway. What would you think about starting a YouTube channel?
I would like to. I do actually have a YouTube channel, but at the same time, I'm not exactly sure how to work with YouTube. It's another one of those things that would be another big learning curve for me. But at the same time, the stuff that I have on YouTube, if you go and look up Mikhail Pollock on YouTube, I have an intro video for Raising Hope that my buddy Torin, who is a video editor, he put that together for me. And then I did the dub over with basically my intro trailer. And so that one turned out really fun. And at that, even my brother-in-law, he's starting to do his own YouTube video kind of stuff. And he was like, dude, like, we need to start recording some of our sessions. That way, like when we're sitting here talking in the cast AMAs or anything, or recording an episode, he's like, we should honestly video ourselves at the same time so we can throw that up on your page and get that, like, hey, this is us, this is what we do, and this is how we do it.
And he's on the right track.
Yeah,
he's definitely on the right track. I actually have, I don't do it on my coachings, but on my episodes where I actually interview people, I have a second camera behind my camera. And I actually start that camera about 3 or 5 minutes before the person comes on, because I talk to my Skoob believers. I call them Skoob believers. That's my guys, because I'm DJ Skoob, so I'm Skoob believers, right? So and I talked to them and said, hey, this is what's going on in my life right now. These are the plans that I have. Then my guests will come on, but before I even start recording with my guests, I'll actually have a short conversation with them, see what, just talk with them a little bit. So this is content before the content. And then after I turn off the recording, I actually talk to them a little bit more. How did that feel? What do you have any questions for anything like that? And a lot of times they'll actually come up with some extra questions and content for me. And then I'll take that and put it on my Patreon.
Oh, that's cool.
And then have that as bonus content that people can get for $5 a month. But having behind the scenes content, especially for your type of podcast of what you're doing, would actually be very beneficial. I think putting that up as a YouTube channel would be awesome, because now people can hear you and hear what you all are doing, but actually visually see what you're doing to make the sound effects and things like that too. Also, and something that people have been doing lately, excuse me, is just putting a still frame of your cover and just putting the audio in as a YouTube, because a lot of people are starting to consume podcasts, not just like on Spotify and all that, but actually through YouTube, because YouTube actually has a searchability where most podcast platforms don't. So
I've noticed that my hosting platform, Acast, they actually have the option for YouTube, but when I tried to do it once, for some reason they told me that my audio file was too big, and I was like,
too long. Yeah,
it doesn't make sense though. Like, I've seen videos on there that are like 3 hours long, and I'm like, how is it too big?
So I don't know much about that particular platform, so I'm sorry if I'm asking questions, but do they limit about how much, do they go by space, but how much space goes into, or they go by time?
I think it's like space, like data wise.
Okay, so that's why you actually have to get a higher, probably higher tier than what you're at now to be able to download. That's a guess. Like I said, I'm not sure about that, but I've heard of that where if you only have a certain amount of space to be able to download into. So what I do is I actually use a company called Buzzsprout, and they go by time.
Okay.
So instead of having, a certain amount of megabytes to be able to fit into their platform, you could put in a 2-hour episode and it'll do it. Now it'll suck up all your time for that week or for that month, but it's possible. So me personally, I have I'm on the second tier, so I get 6 hours worth of download time. So like I pretty much fit my whole month into a day if I really wanted to, or however. But the other way to do it is just to download it, just record it like we're recording now off of Zoom or whatever, and then just straight downloading it into YouTube, which is a little simpler than most people think. And there's
the biggest issue that I need to look at with something like that is the licensing for some of the sound effects and music that I use, because it goes what hosting platform are you using and what is it going to be on. So Acast is my biggest hosting platform and they distribute everywhere. But with some of my licensing, I'm not sure if I'm able to take my recordings and just upload them onto my YouTube channel without getting flagged for licensing issues.
Well, do you have licensing for your podcast?
Yes.
Okay, then you have licensing for YouTube.
Okay, so
that's exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay.
You won't have any problems with that. And just to throw this out there, if you do have questions about licensing, things like that, the Creator Lab, we actually have a podcast lawyer that you could bounce ideas off of.
Oh.
So that's a nice
I might have to check that out.
Yeah, his name is Gordon. I've talked to him several times. He's a great guy, and he'll answer any basic questions for you, like right off, and he won't charge you anything for it. So if it gets to something too extensive, we might have to talk about it. But I mean, I asked him if I could use Scooby-Doo as my logo. He told me no. So yeah, I tried. Anyway, just basic questions. He'll answer them for you. He's a big part of the community. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much about licensing. If you already have licensing, especially for sound effects. Now visuals are probably a little bit different, but sounds and music, I mean, things like that, as long as you have a license for them for your podcast, then it's the same thing for YouTube.
Okay. Because I don't have any like visuals or videos that I would have to worry about. All the art that is done is art that we own, that my buddy does. So he's the one that's like, oh, dude, use the art anywhere. He's like, that's your art. He's like, you paid for it. And he's like, I didn't even want you to pay me for it, but you paid me for it. And I'm like, well, I have to. Like, your art is totally worth it. And I'm going to support you in your dream of being an amazing artist, which he does crazy art, like not just graphics and stuff. He does clay and stuff. So like he did a clay sculpture of Yoda, and then he did a clay sculpture of Gru. And it was like, oh, That's insane.
Dude's talented.
Oh yeah, Kalarian on Instagram, Kalarian Art, and he's got Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
Super amazing sculpture, and just the amount of detail that he puts into it is amazing.
Let me ask you this question. How could you incorporate something with him on YouTube?
I think in that it would be talking with him while he's working on something and while I'm working on something. So if I'm writing or typing out a script while he's playing around with his clay or drawing something for the show, like doing some concept art for me, that would be something that I feel like him and I could sit down, do a video, and have that conversation with, like, okay, this is kind of what I see in my head. Like, can you do a quick sketch to get the basic idea, and just kind of go through like something like that.
So I have, gosh, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I wonder if I can look him up real quick. I actually did a voice job. It was a single line, but for where is she at? I'll have to send it to you. I can't remember the name of it right away. So what she does is she actually has still sketches that go like a storyboard for her stories.
Yeah.
And she puts those on YouTube.
Ah.
So like, here's a voice, here's a still frame of what's happening in the scene, and she'll move them as the story progresses. So what she'll actually do is, as she's telling the story or as she's making the story or whatever, she storyboards it. And then on the YouTube channel, she'll take the actual finished product of that storyboard, like an actual picture, put it up on the screen on the YouTube, and then tell a story that way.
That's pretty cool. My buddy Torin, who's my friend, that's the video editor guy, he did some stuff because he's in college right now for videography, and he put together kind of the same thing. He had small pictures that he was like, okay, I'm going to animate these, but I need somebody to do the voice of these little birds. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you're a great actor. So he's like, do you want to do it? And I'm like, sure. So I did that to help him out. And yeah, it turned out really cool.
So you actually have a circle of friends, it sounds like to me, that would actually help you be successful in a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think right now it was just the apprehension with being on YouTube that was kind of my biggest issue. And I think that, again, that falls back onto that fear. I just need to stop and go for it.
And just do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my podcast, I talk about how we just need to start, how we need to do it today. And my tagline is, I can, I am, I will, and I'm doing it today. I think you really need to put that aspect into yourself and just do it. Start it today. Well, I mean, you know, not right now. We're kind of talking, but you know, just sit down with yourself and just say, hey, this is what I need to do. And then go out and then do it. You are holding yourself back. That's exactly what's happening here. You have a lot of great ideas. You have fantastic imagination. You're probably a fantastic creative. I can tell already. You have so many great ideas. You have such talent around you. You need to organize that and use it.
Yeah. I need to stop being afraid.
Okay. So I'm going to get into finding voice actors. I mean, what are you doing right now to find voice actors? I know you got family and kind of that kind of thing. What else are you doing?
I've joined a couple Facebook groups, like a voice acting community, and I've also been branching out on different avenues on different websites. Like I think one was Linktree and a couple of those. But some of the voice actors that I've talked to have been, it's kind of bad to say, but they've been toxic.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the people that try to get a hold of me to do it are like, oh, like I am this amazing voice actor and you need to pay me this much. And it's like, no, like your voice doesn't match exactly what I'm kind of looking for. And at that, like, I don't have that big of a budget. So I'm trying to find people that are like wanting to just do it either for the fun of it or have that like, okay, we'll help you grow. But at the same time, like when you start getting there, and regardless, I'm going to pay them. Like I already have one that I hired for another show that I'm currently producing. And her voice was amazing. And the way she delivered the lines was like, holy crap. I'm like,
Right.
nope, here's what I'm going to pay you. Like, this is out of my pocket. You did an amazing job. And like, this is what you're worth to me. Here you go. Like, you are phenomenal. And she's got her own podcast also, like, which is really cool.
You know what I've noticed, especially in the podcast communities that I'm in, a lot of them loved voice act, and I think that going into just voice acting communities, it just sounds like it's not working as well as you'd hoped.
No.
So this is going to be kind of weird to say, but maybe you should start joining some podcasting communities and start asking podcasters. Because a lot of times podcasters, and this is one thing I've noticed too, is they're more interested in helping you out than trying to get money from you. Because a lot of podcasters out there are doing this as a hobby. And those are the people that don't mind, spending an extra 2 or 3 minutes to throw in, or whatever, to help you out with your show. And then if you decide to pay them, great. If not, they're okay. I have now the podcasting group I'm part of on Twitter. They're always talking about, let's do voice acting here. Hey, I just did this voice act over here for free. I don't know. I don't care about being paid because I just love doing it and putting that voice out there. That might be a different avenue for you to check out. Because it sounds like to me that the couple of times that we've talked about it already, you said, well, this podcaster did this voice for me. Well, this podcaster did that voice for me. But when I tried to find somebody that actually professionally did a voice, they were very toxic.
Yeah. And at that, I've actually done some lines for other shows, like a Fool and Scholar. I did some recordings for them because they were like, hey, like, you showed interest. And I'm like, yeah, like, I'll help out. You guys have helped me out. And like, don't even worry about paying me. I'll do this free because I love voice acting. I love playing around with voices. Yeah. So I got to play a dragon in one of their shows, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
And then I get to play a soldier in another one that I kind of had to branch out and play around. And I was like, ooh, that one was really fun. And like, this is awesome. And the next thing you know, they're like sending me a payment. And I'm like, I was expecting this. Like, but they're like, no, dude, like, we're a big company right now. And they're like, we're doing great. Like, we pay our voice actors. And they're like, if you ever need help, just let us know. And it's like, cool. So I do have these communities that have been super helpful. And at that, I just kind of feel bad when I reach out to these other podcasts because it's like, hey, like, I know you're busy doing your own thing, but can you help me do this? And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be bugging people.
So what does that lead into again?
Fear.
You're starting to catch on, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask people for help. You're not bugging us. Okay? We'll let you know if it's too much. But you're not going to know if it's too much if you don't ask. Don't be afraid to ask, hey, can you do this for me? Or whatever it is that you might need. Because, like we said at the beginning, we're all here to help each other. So don't feel like you're a nuisance or don't feel like you're bugging us. I would love for you to ask me.
Oh, I would totally use your voice.
I do voices, so mainly Hanna-Barbera cartoons, but because so that's fine. You're like, zoinks, man. Like, I do a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff, but that's just who I am.
Yeah, I play around with voices all the time. Like, I actually voice 7 characters in my own show.
There you go. So
I do the Australian grumble raider. Oi, you got some bad pups here. So doing voices is fun. And then a lot of my friends, like, they love it when I do Arnold. Grenade, get down. And they're like, dude, God, you love playing with voices. And I'm like, it's fun. And then they're like, do Rick and Morty. Come on, Morty. We gotta go, Morty. We gotta get in the ship, Morty. Rick and Morty forever. Jeez, Rick, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. So I was like, oh, dude, you do really good.
So we could do this all day, but that's not why we're here. Okay, yeah. So I think if you reach out to some podcast communities, other communities you think that might use voice as part of what they do, you might have a little more luck finding somebody to fill those spots for your voice acting and scripts. Okay. So all of this that we talked about right now is actually going to filter the very first thing we talked about, funding. Right? Because having all this, having the YouTube channel is going to start funneling people to you. Having my brain stopped. Sorry. Having the email list and having the landing page is all going to filter people to you. And the more people that get filtered to you, you're going to have an opportunity to sell a product to. You can even, I'll throw this out. Have you thought about maybe making, now this takes a little time, but maybe making some kind of course of some kind?
I actually thought about it because I did see like some posts on Twitter with this other group that I'm like really adamant with, because people have been asking like, oh, like, is it hard starting a podcast? And is it even worth doing? And then at that, like one of my favorite quotes is kind of like the field of dreams. If you build it, they'll come. And I'm like, if you enjoy doing it, then it's totally for you. If you make it, someone will listen.
And you already have a community to sell it to.
Yeah.
So here is some possible funding for you too. Yeah, you're one step further than I am at this point. But I think if you have the capability of putting together a course, and we actually can help you with courses in that creator lab too. Putting together a course to sell, here comes some more funding then, because you already have people to sell it to. You already sound like you have people that are interested in what you're accomplishing. So these are people that are saying, hey, I would like this. They're raising their hands saying, hey, I would like to have this from you. Because, I mean, there's a lot of other podcasting courses out there, but these people want to hear it from you. And that's where you have the advantage over most other people out there, because there's only one you. Yeah. Right? So use that to your advantage and say, hey, is this what you want? Okay, I'll make it for you. And go from there.
I think that's a really good idea. And at that, I feel like that would be something that would be beneficial for, like, especially the Patreon. It's like, if you guys are this interested, if you join at this $5 tier, then I'll do monthly videos of basically my podcasting production and how I do it and steps that you can take to start your own story.
There you go. That's a great idea. That's good. I like that. You should go with that.
Because I'm already starting to do it with my own family, because now that they've played around with voice acting and seeing me do all my scripting and storytelling, they're like, I have so many stories that I want to tell. I'm like, well, then write them. Like, we have the avenue to start doing it. So if you guys start writing it, we'll voice act and we'll get your stories. So I really enjoy seeing people be creative and actually putting themselves out there. And no matter what, I'm always going to try to support those kind of creative people.
I just had a thought. What if you presented that to your community?
Like what? Writing their own stories?
Mm-hmm.
I actually mentioned it once in one of our bonus episodes for This Is Us, which was, if you guys have stories you want to tell, like if you want to email them into us, we can either read them, or if you want to record them, we can feature them in a new podcast that we want to produce, which is basically like listener tales. Tell us your favorite holiday, like your happiest Christmas, your best Valentine's date or whatever you had, like your scariest spooky Halloween. Like, tell us your story. Like, if you have a story you want to get out, here's the space for you to do it.
But do it more niche.
More niche.
Yeah, we'll do it more towards what your niche actually is. So instead of saying holidays or Christmas or anything like that, tell me a zombie story.
Oh, there we go. I didn't even think about that one.
Because a lot of the things that people, when they choose a niche, and you guys have a great niche, I'll tell you that, right? It's huge, but it's a good one. People have stories they want to tell about zombies. So instead of saying, just throwing something that general out there, Throw something niche out there, because Pat Flynn, the guy I follow, the riches are in the niches. That's what he says. So the more niche that you can make that fits into your genre, people are going to be more responded to, because they're going to realize it's part of what you do.
I like that idea. I'm going to have to start branching out on that a little bit more now. So yeah, you've given me a lot of stuff to think about. And honestly, I think you've kind of inspired me a little bit more to not be so afraid of putting myself out there and getting some actual stuff accomplished.
And then the funding will follow.
Yep.
The funding is basically how well you serve your community is how well your funding will be. It's kind of a byproduct of how you serve others. So when you start serving these others, they're going to want to follow you more, and then they're going to become super fans because they're following what you do and they are a part of it. Throw them the basketball, right? When I was growing up, I didn't play basketball a lot. When I did, nobody ever threw the basketball to me. Why? Because I wasn't any good. So when they asked me, like, hey, do you want to come watch us play basketball? This is Pat Flynn's story, not mine. But do you want to come out and watch us play basketball? I'd say no. Why? Because you never throw the ball to me or give me a chance. So if you give your community that chance, give them the ball, they're going to want to join you.
I like that. And at that, hearing the different creative aspects behind other people's zombie stories is incredible. Like, just to hear what people's opinion would be or how a certain event would take place would just be almost brain opening. Like, it would open up more creativity. And at that, it's like, yeah, like, here's a story from this listener and here we go. Like, this is their story.
And how excited would they be to hear their story?
I think people would really be excited.
Do you think they tell people about it?
Oh yeah. Because at that, like, there have been a few of my listeners that have gotten a hold of me and they're like, so I'm working on this show, but like, I don't know if it's like worth putting out. And I'm like, do you like your story? And they're like, well, I love my story. Like, it's really fun to do. And I'm like, then at that should be all that matters. Like, if you put it out and you love it, that's all that matters to you. Like, it shouldn't be like, oh, I want it to be this and I hope people like it. It's like, no, if you like it, it's worth it. So following your passion and doing that is the biggest key. And I kind of don't have any room to talk on that because don't be afraid, but I still have some fear. So
You're funny. You just read my mind. It's like, who really needs to follow that advice?
yeah, I'm good at giving advice. I'm just not good at following my own.
Well, that's what Alice said, right? Okay. So that's amazing. I think you've hit the nail right on the head. I think that's one thing you really need to concentrate on. Giving people the ball, giving them and another thing too, you should actually do that. I mean, it sounds like people are wanting to do it already. Why don't you just kind of do it on a more regular basis? Say, hey, if you have a zombie story you want me to critique or something like that, send it to me. I might even put it on my show. I mean, some stuff like that. So I really think you have a lot to work with now. I really think you have a lot to work with. So I'm going to, do you have any other questions that you want to go over? Do you want to ask me anything? Is there anything I can do to serve you at this particular point?
I think we've pretty much touched on everything that I was really curious about and basically wanted to have some help on avenues that I could pursue that would potentially help me out. And at that, I think we've pretty much touched everything I wanted to talk about. Is there anything that I could do for you that you want me to touch on?
I'd like to actually try some of your voice acting.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to try a couple of voices and just give me a couple of script lines to read and that kind of thing. Just to email them to me and just see. I usually try to do like 3 or 4 different types of voices for the one person and just whatever comes up best. That's what I did the last time. So,
yeah. I mean, how do you feel about playing a soldier?
A soldier? I'm more of a creature guy.
Creature? You want creature?
I'm more of a creature guy. Just kind of a different types of voices that I can kind of talk about. Unless you want some goofy guy that I could do goofy. So, But anyway, that's beside. But yeah, that would be great for me if you wanted to do that. That'd be fantastic.
Perfect.
So do me a favor, Mikhail, and tell me 3 takeaways from this conversation that we've had today.
Well, I think some of the number one takeaway is fear, that I need to not be so afraid to pursue these avenues and really just stop being afraid. And then I think a second point is, yeah, I've already got everything there, and now it's time to pass the ball on and start engaging with my community a lot more. And after that, yeah, I think the third point is right now, just overall, stop being afraid. It always falls back on that one.
It does. It really does. It did for me too. It really did for me too. So don't feel alone in that. That's something that everybody goes through at one point or another in their entrepreneur adventure of what they're trying to accomplish. Do I do this? Do I not do this? What are the consequences? Just do it. So, and what's the one thing we're going to get off the call right now, and you're going to do what?
I am going to stop being afraid, and I'm actually going to go and put myself out there. I'm going to go onto YouTube. I'm going to start my YouTube channel. I actually have a cast interview that I'm doing with the family today. So I think that one I'll start with the very first video and throw that out there.
There you go. That's amazing. That's a good idea.
Then I'm also going to start looking into some more of your stuff.
Oh, I appreciate that. That'd be great. A couple extra, listen to what we have. I have a couple of coaching episodes. Most are all on brand new entrepreneurs that are just getting started. I do have a couple of follow-up episodes if you want to see what their progress is. If you want to get into it, that's awesome. I really appreciate that. The one advantage you actually have over me at this point is time. You actually have a part-time job and you're actually able to put this out in the rest of the time. I actually have 2 full-time jobs on top of the podcasting, on top of the coaching.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, you got me beat there. All right, Mikhail.
I honestly think that biggest part right there is just the community of people that are around me that see how much I enjoy it. And they're telling me that, no, dude, what you're doing is amazing. They're like, you're doing a good job. They're like, don't ever stop. So I got people pushing me to just keep going.
And eventually you'll be able to quit that part-time job and just do it full-time.
I don't know if I'll ever quit the part-time job because I love my job. Yeah, I got friends here, and I got a really good boss, so he takes care of me in all sorts of ways. So it's like, all right, like I'm gonna always do what I can for him.
There you go. That's awesome. All right, Mikhail, any other questions?
Nope, I think we've covered them all.
All right, thank you so much for coming on here with me. I would actually like to follow up with you in a month. Is that okay?
Yeah, that'd be totally fine.
That way I could see, the progress that you have gone. Now that we know kind of what our goals are and what we're trying to accomplish, I want to make sure that you have that. So I'm going to hold you accountable to those things that we've talked about today. I'll send you this tape so you can kind of reflect back on it to see what those goals were since you couldn't write it down, and go from there. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally perfect.
Fantastic. So I'll send you another Calendarly to be able to do that. Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Hey, thanks for talking, but I had a blast. This was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, this honestly for me is one of those things where I'm glad I wasn't afraid to actually come out and chat with you. It was a really fun experience, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It goes on from there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for listening to the coaching edition of The Undiscovered Entrepreneur, brought to you by Doing It Today Coaching. If you want to get across the start line, contact me, DJskoob, at doingittodaycoaching@gmail.com. Say the words "do it now" for a free 2-hour discovery call to see how I can help you in your entrepreneur adventure. Art and graphics by Elaine Wilson, supported by my Patreons, Brian Briggs of Ocean Tree Creative and Oliver Siegel of Anal, and hosted by me, DJ Skoob. Click the show notes below for more information. And remember, I can, I am, I will, and I'm doing it today. As a worker of 2 full-time jobs, running a podcast and coaching, every minute counts in my day-to-day. It's hard to be consistent in any of my social medias. And at this point, I cannot hire a social media manager. Pinnacle AI to the rescue! I've been using Pinnacle AI for a couple of weeks now and seeing big improvements in my outreach and consistency in all my social medias. Do you want to save time and increase your productivity too? Go to tuepodcast.net/AI for more information. Save yourself time and grow your brand. Try it now and see what it can do for you. Hello, Skoob believers. Let me ask you a real quick question. How many cups of coffee have you had today? 3, 5, 7? And let me guess, you've got a Red Bull in the other hand just in case, right? Yeah, I see you. Now, here's the truth bomb nobody wants to hear. You're not building a business. You're building a caffeine dependency. Listen, I get it. When you're grinding 12, 14, 16-hour days, you're building something from nothing. When you've got payroll to meet, investors to impress, and visions that won't wait. You need fuel. But what if I told you that the fuel that you're using is actually slowing you down? What if the very thing that you think is keeping you sharp is actually making you dull? Enter Rise Coffee. This isn't your grandma's mushroom tea. This isn't some hippie wellness trend. This is science meets performance. And here's what makes Rise different. Less than half the caffeine of a regular cup of coffee. But here's the kicker. You won't miss it. 6 organic powerhouse mushrooms, including Cridoceps, what Olympic athletes use, and lion's mane, what Silicon Valley biohackers swear by. Sustained energy that doesn't spike and crash. We're talking smooth, clean power from morning to moonlight. Crystal clear focus without the jitters. Imagine closing the deal with calm, confident mind instead of the caffeine chaos. Gut health and immune support, because what's the point of building an empire if you're too sick to enjoy it? So here's the challenge to you. Stop borrowing energy from tomorrow. Stop running on fumes and call it a hustle. Stop wearing your caffeine addiction like a badge of honor. Real entrepreneurs optimize, real entrepreneurs adapt, real entrepreneurs win. You can't win if you're crashing at 2 p.m. while your competition is just getting started. Break the cycle. Head to risesuperfoods.com right now and use code PODNA15 for 50% off your first order. That's PODNA15 for 15% off. Try it for 30 days. If you don't feel the difference, if you don't feel sharper, calmer, more focused, more alive, then go back to your 6-a-day cup habit. But I'm telling you, we won't, because once you feel what real energy feels like, you'll never go back. Ditch the addiction, fuel your empire, and rise up. Rise Coffee, energy that builds, not burns.